All right, we are live. Welcome to season 5, episode 9. Better Call Saul, Bad Choice Road. Man, that was a good episode. We're also going to talk about Tiger King and Darkside of the Ring. So let's go ahead and get started with Better Call Saul and Bad Choice Road. And oh my God, the last 15, 20 minutes were phenomenal. Phenomenal.
What was the teaser? Now, the teaser on this one, we see kind of dual screens.
Yeah, yeah, a throwback for episode last season's Something Stupid when they have
Mm.
that major time gap and we see them on both sides of the screen and with oh man, it was really good. This teaser was good too, and it was a callback to that teaser, and we see Mike and Jimmy out in the desert,
Mm.
trying to find signal, and then we see on the other side of the screen Kimmy, calling Saul on his phone to see if he'll answer and pick up. And then when he finally does, it was one big relief for
Mm-hmm.
Kim.
Yeah, definitely. So in this one, Lalo decides he's going to go south.
Mm-hmm.
But then when he gets to the well, he decides he's going to backtrack and say, let's see now. This guy, the lawyer, his car supposedly
Yeah,
broke
but
down.
before we get to that,
Oh, okay.
Saul gets the 7 million in cash to the Bell Bonds place. And we kind of speculated last week, oh, it's going to come up short. Well,
Uh-huh.
which surprised me. It didn't come up short. They went over, and that 100,000 was payment for Saul. And
Mm-hmm.
when Lalo finally got out, Saul told him the story of him breaking down in the desert, and he had to walk and find a signal for somebody to call and pick up. And then Lalo believes him. He believes him until he gets to where you were talking about, Henry, with Nacho and to the border. And he didn't
Mm-hmm.
see Saul's car on the side of the road, so he had Nacho to go back to see where this car was at, and he saw the car in the ditch with bullet holes in it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Which caused Lalo to be suspicious.
Yeah, very much suspicious. Let me see here.
One thing that Mike was now see that they actually got to a truck stop. Mike and
Yeah,
Jimmy did.
yeah.
And they changed clothes and they got some sports drinks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that the whole them changing clothes reminded me of Walt and Jesse when they had to go to the place and they changed their clothes after Gus slit Victor's throat in Breaking Bad. Spoiler alert if you haven't watched it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Uh, let's see here. We see Jimmy and Kim uh, talking about what happened, and he doesn't fully tell her the truth of what happened. She goes to see the money in the bag, and she doesn't care about the money. She sees the cup that he retrieved from the car, and she sees the bullet hole in the cup, and she knows
Mm-hmm.
there's more more to the story than he's letting on.
Yep. Yep, definitely. But she doesn't say anything to him.
Yeah. Let's see here. We also know who ordered the hit on Saul for the $7 million. Juan Bolsa was the guy. Gus called Juan Bolsa, and he was all smiles. He said, Lalo's out. The $7 million he retrieved got there safely, and Lalo is going to Mexico. And so, man, this is going to be exciting for what's going to happen Monday night, and I cannot wait because, you know, I thought this was the moment that Lalo was going to die in the ending final moments of this episode.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. He kept telling Jimmy, "Tell the story again."
Yeah. So Lalo pays Jimmy and Kim a visit at his apartment, and Mike actually calls Jimmy up and said, "Leave the phone on, hide it so no one can see it." And he doesn't know what's going on until Kim opens the door and it's Lalo standing in the doorway, making himself comfortable, coming in. And he's there, like you said, oh, hey, tell me the story. Tell me again. He tells Jimmy to keep telling the story and over again. And I love the line that Lalo said. He said that, I paid good money to hear this story, so I can hear it as many times as I want.
Yeah.
So he keeps telling the story over and over again, and then we see another camera shot, and Mike is up on an apartment building with his rifle and his scope lining up to Lalo, and he's got an earpiece in to listen in to hopefully Jimmy doesn't spill the beans of what happened. And we see Mike. I don't. Mike was there, and I was like, "Oh man, this is when Lalo's going to die. This is when Lalo's going to die." And this was not when Lalo dies. This is just Mike being Mike, and Mike was basically there as backup in case something does happen and goes down. He can kill Lalo right then and there if he had to. And then the question was, how did Mike know that Lalo was going to pay a visit? Well, I think probably Nacho either called or texted Mike as soon as they got into the apartment complex driveway. And I think that's when Mike, because when we see Mike on the phone with Jimmy, he's rushing over there. He's on the phone. He's driving. He's on his way there. And this episode, we see that Saul is dealing with some PTSD from the shootout that happened. So he's not 100% Saul in this episode. I mean, we see him in the episode losing a case, and when we see the who's the bald dude that was like messing with him. I forgot his name.
I forgot his name too.
But yeah, so one of Jimmy's, I guess one of his partners or friends from the business, is trolling him and everything, saying, "Oh, how can you lose this case? This case is so easy. You're not all there, man." And I love the scene when Jimmy goes out and they pan over and he's still there in the shot of the door and still messing with Jimmy. That was just hilarious. Oh, hilarious episode, hilarious moment. But this is Jimmy's not all there this episode because he's dealing with the PTSD from the shootout. We see more of that when he's talking to Lalo. When we see him, you think he's going to think on his feet, and come up with a better story or add more details to that story of why his car wasn't there and why his car had a bullet hole in it. But it was Kim that came up with the story. Kim is like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
this is Albuquerque. Who's to say the car didn't fall off in the ravine and some kids didn't come over there and shoot it. And she
Mm-hmm.
goes in. She goes in on Lalo. And I love that. I love that. I love the scene between
Mm-hmm.
Lalo and Kim. I love it. And Kim is like, why did you use Saul? Why did you use Saul to get your money? Because you trust him. You don't trust anybody else but him. And Lalo,
Mm-hmm.
I think Lalo respects Kim for her saying that, and he knows it's true. He knows that he can trust Saul
Mm-hmm.
to do his dirty one.
Yep.
And also in this episode, we see a big turning point in Kim's story. She just ups and quits Stryker and Coakley,
Yep. Yep.
and she tells Russia, she tell 6 feet away, Henry, 6 feet away, virus.
Hey.
But she tells her assistant to get all of her pro bono cases because she wants to continue with that. But she wants to get out of the thumb of Stryker Coakley and Mesa Verde. And she quits.
Mm-hmm.
But before she left, she goes back to her desk drawer to retrieve the bottle, the bottle cap from the zip from when they mess with Ken wins back in season 2 with Victor and
Oh yeah.
Giselle. She retrieves that,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was pretty
and I
cool.
and I think the reason why she did that is because she kind of likes messing and tricking people, but not the
Mm-hmm.
way that Saul or slash Jimmy does. Going overboard. She kind of likes that.
Yeah.
She likes that.
Yeah. I think so.
And then after Kim lays it out on Lalo, he leaves and he tells Nacho to take him to Mexico. And we all wait a minute, we do see a little scene between Lalo and Hector in the
We do.
in the nursing home, and
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's like it's sad because we see that emotional shot of Lalo looking over to Hector while they're punning that party birthday hat on him, and they're singing happy birthday for one of the residents at the home, and he looks sad, and it's like, man, he's that's not the same Hector. It's not the same. He
Mm-hmm.
realizes that's not the same Hector that he knew and grew up with. And we also get a fun fact from Lalo that Tuco is going to be released
Uh-huh.
in 11 months.
Yep.
So the
So we
question
get a
is
Tuco name drop.
yeah, I hope we get to see Tuco in season 6. We have to see
Yeah.
Tuco. I mean, there's no other point of doing this. We have to see Tuco in season 6.
Mm-hmm.
I hope there's like a time jump in season 6 where Tuco gets out of prison and he acquires Hector and becomes his caregiver, his caretaker.
Mm-hmm.
And this all these events in Breaking that's happened in Breaking Bad we'll get to see in season 6, and I hope we get to see that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oakley, that's his name, Oakley. The bald dude.
Yeah, Oakley.
So let's see. Anything you want to add, Henry?
No, this was another tremendous episode, I thought, and Tony Dalton just continues to impress. And I think Shane's frozen. Like I say, Tony Dalton as Lalo is really excellent. There you are. You were frozen. Looks like he's still frozen. So this upcoming Mondays is called. Oh, there. Wait. So this upcoming Mondays is called Something Unforgivable. Now I'm wondering what that's going to entail.
Can you hear me?
There you are.
There we go. All right.
So, like I said, this upcoming Mondays. I was just going to say, Tony Dalton just continues to impress as Lalo.
Yeah.
He's great.
Yeah, I mean, every time he's on screen, I cannot take my eyes off the screen because he's that damn good. He is that damn good. But after that nail-biting ending, I cannot wait for next week. There was a teaser on AMC's YouTube. I don't know if you watched it, where Saul finds out where Mike lives and he goes to his house.
Wow.
And it's actually a funny scene. He's there and he said, "Oh, I found out your bat cave is not so secret." And he goes up to the door and he knocks on the door. He rings the doorbell. He knocks again. He rings the doorbell, and then we see Mike pulled up in the background. And he gets out of the car and he's like, "Hey, what the hell are you doing?" And he's like, "Get in the house."
Oh, he's freezing up again.
It just ends like that. And it's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
But Thomas, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, great.
You were freezing up again.
Yeah, some internet issues. But Thomas Schnauz wrote and directed this episode. Peter Gould is directing the finale, and he co-wrote the finale. And
Nice.
and it's any predictions for next week, for Monday?
Well, some are kind of scared that something might happen to Kim.
Oh yeah. I was getting ready to say, I was planning on saying this. I'm glad it reminded me. The thing is that we know what happens to Saul, Mike, Gus, Tyrus, all those characters in Breaking Bad. We don't know what happens to Lalo. We don't know what happens to Kim. We don't know what happens to Nacho or Hamlin. And that's what makes this show exciting, is that we don't know what happens to these characters.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm with you. I'm worried that something's going to happen to Kim. And what that something is, no clue. I don't see any major characters dying for the season finale. I could be wrong, but I don't see it, because they have to lead into season 6, and I think probably what might happen is that we'll probably see Gus continue his feud with Lalo and the cartel and the Salmakis. But yeah, I was wrong for the first time in forever.
Hey, you can't. Yeah, you can't always bet 1,000.
I don't know. I was wrong that the money did not come up short. Because we kind of discussed it last week, saying, "Oh man, what if the money comes up short?" But and maybe it might have been a little bit too predictable if that happened. If the money did came up short, it would have been a little bit more predictable. Yeah. So I'm kind of glad that didn't happen. But yeah, so let's. I think we discussed all the major points leading into Monday's episode.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, you want to say it, Henry, or should I say it?
Well, are we going to talk about Darkside of the Ring first?
Oh yeah, we can do that. Yeah, let's do Darkside of the Ring first. Yeah, so we did the Jimmy Snuka and Nancy.
Nancy Argentino.
Yeah, Nancy Argentino. Yeah. And this was a pretty good episode. I don't think it was like as strong as the previous episodes, but it was still a good episode altogether. And it's making me question if he actually did it or not. And I got to say that he may have accidentally did it. I don't think he did it on purpose. I think I don't think it was premeditated. I think it was 100% an accident.
Well, they investigated at the time, and they determined there was no foul play.
Yeah.
I mean, the family believes otherwise. Her family.
Mm-hmm.
But then you had the Tonga kid said, "No, I don't think Jimmy would hurt anybody."
Yeah. Yeah, and they said that he was actually in the car with them going to the hotel when all this happened.
Yeah.
I think that was a new development, because they said nobody else was in the car except for Snuka and Nancy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Jimmy Snuka was a tremendous wrestler, but I did not know what had happened behind the scenes.
Yeah. Yeah, and they found out that Vince McMahon actually talked to the cops with Snuka and the lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
And after that meeting with that, it seemed like the whole case went under the rug until 30 years later, when this journalist brought it back up into light because of the new evidence that they found. And they actually showed for the first time ever, they showed the coroner's report for Nancy.
Mm-hmm. Now, she had injuries that seemed to be consistent with someone who was pretty badly beaten up.
Yeah.
Because she had bruises on her.
Yeah. And didn't they say there was like a bruise around her neck?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what do you think? What's your opinion on this? And the thing is that how is this any different from the Chris Benoit situation, where they erased his memory from from wrestling from the WWE altogether, whereas Snuka, they still had him on up until he died.
That's
Maybe the difference is that it was proven it was Benoit's fault, unlike Snuka where it's still up in the air.
yeah. No, I think he had a violent nature. I think he did some things to her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the injuries are consistent with that type of abuse.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree 100%. And plus, we found out I didn't know this that Buddy Rogers would take him from arena to arena, and then he stopped it because apparently Snuka was like on a coke binge and everything, and he didn't want to be in the same car with him at all.
Mm-hmm. Well, Buddy Rogers was his on-screen manager, and also helped him out behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But I guess even Buddy Rogers had his limits.
Yeah, but I think and this is just speculation. We're not saying that he did or he didn't, but in my opinion, I think he probably did, but I don't think he did it on purpose. I think it was an accidental. I think what happened is that it was an accidental, and the only two people that would know is dead, Snuka and Nancy. I mean, the case is going to be unsolved until the end of time, unless
Yeah, I think so.
unless like some smoking gun somewhere, like if there's like some witness that heard screaming coming from the hotel or something like that comes forward. I think this is going to be one of the ones that's going to be unsolved.
Yeah, I think so.
But it was a good documentary. I really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
What's next week's documentary? Is that
Dino Bravo.
Dino Bravo? Okay.
Now that was an interesting case because that may involve the mafia.
Mm-hmm.
That Dino Bravo was involved with them. I mean, I've heard all kinds of stuff about the Dino Bravo case.
Oh yeah. Mm. Yeah, I haven't heard of the Dino Bravo case.
Well, I
And
do know he was basically executed mob style.
damn. And Dino Bravo was way before my time.
Well, yeah, I knew who he was. I remember seeing him in old WWF.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking him up. He actually retired in '92, and he died in '93 of March,
Yeah,
March of '93. And
yeah,
I was born in August of '93, so. But you probably can talk more about it next week after the documentary because the only thing I'll know is what they show in the documentary.
hmm
And I wish they make these at least 2 hours because I think there's like way much more information that they could have put in for the Snuka documentary.
yeah. Well, the Benoit one was 2 hours. So
Yeah, yeah. I think with with the deaths and everything, I think they could make do like 2 hours. But We don't need a 2-hour documentary on the Brawl for All.
No.
You know, or I mean, I don't think there's enough. Well, they might be enough for a 2-hour documentary on New Jack, though.
Oh yeah.
But you know, like with the Snuka case, I think that could have been 2 hours. I think as soon as it started, and then when it got to the point of the whole examining the case and everything, it kind of went by fast. And I think they should have drawn it out a little bit and explain in more detail as much as they can. I think Snuka could have been a 2-parter, but Brawl for All, leave that for an hour. 2 hours for the Brawl for All. God. Ooh. Okay, so apparently, okay, yeah. So after Dino Bravo, it's going to be David Schultz and the Slap Heard Around the World.
Oh, that's gonna be a good one.
And then after that is going to be Herb Abrams and the UWF. Actually, Brian Zane did a YouTube video with the UWF and Herb Abrams. So
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
He did.
so
Yeah.
check that out. Then the Road Warriors, and then they're concluding it with Owen Hart.
Ooh.
And the Owen Hart one is going to be on May 19th. And he passed away on May 23rd of 99. So that's going to be, kind of coinciding with his death.
Yeah.
I hope they interview his wife, Martha.
Mm-hmm.
I think that because I don't think she's actually went on camera and talked about this. Talked about the whole thing.
No.
Because I hope they got her and filmed her. All right, so yeah, I think that's pretty much it on Dark Side of the Ring. So Henry, you want to do the honors? You want to do the honors?
Hey, are you cool cat kittens?
All right, so you're probably wondering why I got exotic in my name and the Saul Exotic GoodCast. We're going to talk about Tiger King and this messed up documentary. Tiger King. Now I'm going to go on record. I didn't have the chance to watch it all, but bits and pieces from what I've saw and from what it's been on the internet, blasting on the internet, all the memes and all the gifs and that fucking Carol Baskins. Okay, so this documentary is about all these people with backyard zoos. You have Joe Exotic and his zoo in the backyard who's gay with 2 husbands, which how the hell does that even happen? I mean, I can't have 2 wives, can I? I have to go to Utah for that. But he's in Florida. It follows Joe Exotic. Follows this guy named Doc. Carol fucking Baskins is another basket case. And then this other guy, Mario. Was his name Mario?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I knew it had to have been Mario. Or it started with an M. But so apparently this guy, Joe Exotic, has these tigers. And it's this murder for hire plot, correct? He tried to he tried to kill Carol Baskins.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about Carol Baskins first, because she's a basket case. So she poor Howard. I think that's her second husband. Poor Howard.
Mhm.
So Carol Baskins is a nutcase. I don't even like this woman at all because she's such a hypocrite. She's like,
Mhm.
oh, I hate when people, keeps their lines and cages and everything. And she's right in front of the freaking line in this small ass cage,
Mhm.
and then she has this cage where she like feeds it, water and stuff, and it's caged up. I remember that because I've seen that. But she's such a hypocrite. Now, I would not blame the lion or tiger if she opens that cage and gets mauled by the thing because she
Ooh.
kind of deserves it. She
Mhm.
deserves it. Natural selection. Because this woman is insane. She needs to take those things out of the cage because that thing's too small. That's too small. Those cages are too small.
Mhm.
They're a lion. They got to run. They got to have exercise. They can't be caged up. But
Mhm.
apparently the story goes is that she had a first husband. She killed him and fed him to the tigers. now, now, as much as I want to believe that to be true, I don't think she did. I don't think she's that insane. I mean, what do you think? What do you think?
Well, they've reopened the investigation in that county,
All right,
and
that's
they're
good.
looking. They're asking for tips. If anybody
Ooh.
has any further information on what actually happened
Mm-hmm.
to Don Lewis, the sheriff's department is asking for any tips anybody might have.
Yeah. Any tip? Yeah. So basically, what she says is that he's a pilot and he took the plane out. The gas or engine or something got messed up, and that's how he perished. Because see, the
Mhm.
thing is that he's gone. He's missing. They can't find the body anywhere. There is no remains anywhere.
Which led to the speculation by some referring to Carol Baskin killing her husband somehow, and then feeding and then having his body cut up in a huge meat grinder and fed to the tigers.
Okay. Well, okay. Okay. So let's kind of break this down a little bit. Let's just say, for an example, I kill somebody. I am not going. One, I'm not going to go through the trouble of punting him through a meat grinder and then feed him to tigers. I would just throw the body out to the tigers and let them eat it. I mean, I don't get the point of grinding the meat up and then going and then just throwing it out to the tigers. That doesn't make any sense at all to me.
There would still be bones left over. That's the only thing about it.
No, the tigers won't eat the bones.
No, there would still be trace evidence.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So maybe she did. she's she's nuts. Did you see the way when they first introduce her? She's like, "Oh, hey, how about if I come in like this and I kneel against this tree?" I mean, she was setting up the shot for the freaking documentary people.
And she says at one point in this documentary, she says that if you're going to, because what happened was in one segment, Joe Exotic is shooting a video in a cage with a lion,
Mm-hmm.
and he says he spilled perfume on his shoes, and the lion attacked the shoes. Well, Carol said, "Well, you wouldn't put something on your shoes that the lions are going to drool over, like perfume. You'd put sardine oil." It's like, oh, really? Is that what you did to Don there, Carol? Did you cover Don with sardine
I think
oil?
I didn't see that part, but my God, and that doesn't surprise me at all.
Ooh.
She had a sardine bath ready and dumping in it. Okay, so let's get to this other guy, this cult leader, Doc. And
Doc Antle.
he's like a
Yes.
god. Yes, yeah, he's a freaking cult leader. 100%. He has all these women. You know, he sleeps with all of them. He has certain names to call them. He doesn't call them by their real name. He has a certain way for them to dress. And all these women has to call him like Doc or God or something like this. That's a
Bhagavan.
cult.
Bhagavan.
Yes,
They call him Bhagavan, which literally means Lord.
yes. That's a cult right there. That is a cult through and through.
They did interview a lady who broke away from that.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that.
And you're right, it is like a cult.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm not gonna lie. Some of them women are in them cat suits. I ain't gonna lie. Meow. So, and he has a son too. His son is a part of it too. Let's see, so let's get to the main guy that this whole show revolved around was Joe
Joe
Exotic.
Exotic. Yeah. Boy, this guy.
Man, this dude is. He's not as batshit crazy like Carol. He's sort of more level-headed than Carol. This dude ran for president twice.
No, he ran for president, then he ran for governor.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
And he got 19% of the vote for governor.
Wow. He ran for president in 2016 as an independent, and then governor of Oklahoma as a libertarian.
You'd have to watch episode 8 because they do a follow-up with most everybody, except for with Carol Baskin.
Oh, really? They didn't bring her
Yes.
back? That's weird.
She did. I don't think she wants to participate anymore. Because she made a few statements that she wasn't too happy with the way they portrayed her.
Well, she was the one directing all the scenes.
Yeah.
So blame yourself for that, Carol. You know when she was riding that bike, she had to be okay. Let me take my bike. Let me ride it across, the field right here, and you just pan across. I mean, she directed that scene 100%.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing is, Joe Exotic would make videos.
Let's see here. Yeah, so he can sing. He's a singer, country music star.
But it actually wasn't his voice. He Milli Vanilli the thing.
Well, oh my God. Let's see here. I'm reading up. Let's see here. And so he was arrested for murder for hire and animal abuse.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. So he tried to he tried to kill Baskin for a murder for hire plot, and
Mm-hmm.
he got arrested, and he's in jail or prison right now, and Donald Trump was President Trump was asked about a pardon for Joe Exotic a
Mm-hmm.
few days ago, about a week or so ago, and he's like, I'll look into it. I'll look into it. So, what if he pardons Joe Exotic?
That'd be crazy.
Uh, oh man,
The thing is, Joe Exotic isn't exactly an angel either. I mean, he's not. He.
yeah,
I mean, he kept making videos where he threatened to kill Carol Baskin.
yeah. I mean, you can't do that. You can't do that. I mean, it's one thing of calling her a bitch and fucking Carol Baskins, but when you actually go out and say he's gonna kill her, and that draws the line. You can bash her all you want, but when you say you want to kill somebody, that draws the line.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm reading Wikipedia, and let me see. So Ryan Murphy is in talks to produce a film with Rob Lowe as Joe Exotic.
Oh my gosh.
I want to watch that. I want to see Rob Lowe as Joe Exotic. Oh my God. So okay. So he had going back to two husbands. He had two husbands for some strange reason, and one of them actually passed away.
Well, he supposedly accidentally killed himself.
Oh, really? That I didn't hear that.
This happened in front of Joe's campaign manager.
Wow.
And he had a pistol, and he didn't know it was loaded. He didn't know there was one in the chamber.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in the show, they said that they weren't gay. That his husbands were not gay, and that they were straight.
Mm-hmm.
How does that even work? How does that even happen? It's okay.
He supposedly promised them meth.
Now we're having a Breaking Bad situation here.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Bryan Cranston as Joe Exotic.
Oh.
Oh my God, let's screw Rob Lowe. Bring in Bryan Cranston. He will kill that. role. He'll get a freaking Oscar for that role. I think Bryan Cranston would have been might be a better choice than Rob Lowe. Brian, okay, Bryan Cranston, you got to play Joe Exotic. I want Bryan Cranston to play Joe Exotic. Oh my God. So one of his husbands impregnated the zookeeper's receptionist,
Mm-hmm.
and the other one that killed himself was sleeping around with a whole bunch of women. So now which one was the one that had the messed up teeth, and then you got him fixed?
That was John Finlay.
Okay. So he was the one that took the meth.
Mm-hmm.
Had to been, because he had the messed up teeth and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
But he got a new set. And then you had the producer, Rick Kirkham, who was producing a Joe's show for him.
Where do you think this is going? What was that?
I say you had the producer, Rick Kirkham, who was producing Joe's show for him. And then they lost all that footage in a fire, which also killed some alligators.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Dang. Man, this was a crazy documentary.
And then you had the one keeper there.
So Joe Exotic, he's now in prison for 22 years. You said that they reopened the case for Carol Baskins, which I think it does need to be reopened. I think there's more there.
And then there was one staff member who had his arm or his hand bitten off by a tiger. And he had that hand amputated. And then he had that hand amputated, and he was back at work within a week.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Oh, jeez. So this is a crazy, crazy documentary. But yeah, so I have no idea what's going to happen next. I don't think Trump is going to pardon the guy. I think it's highly unlikely. I'd be surprised if he did.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about this a couple of days ago. I was like, South Park is going to have a ball when the new season comes out with the virus and now Tiger King. I hope to God that we see President Garrison hire Joe Exotic as like a press secretary or something. in South Park. I think that'd be great. That'd be great. But yeah, I think we covered everything.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so next week this is the season finale of Better Call Saul. This Monday's the season finale. Next week I'm going to talk about it, and then we'll talk about Darkside of the Ring, the Dino Bravo case, and I think let me see something here. Okay, so after the Dino Bravo case, there's going to be 4 more episodes of Dark Side of the Ring. You want to do a Dark Side of the Ring recap for them 4 episodes?
Yeah.
Sweet. So yeah, we'll talk some wrestling. David Schultz, Herb Abrams, Road Warriors, and Owen Hart is the last 4. And then next week's Dino Bravo. Yeah, this is a really good series. Very good series. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for us tonight. We'll be here next week with the season finale of Better Call Saul. Something Unforgivable is the season finale. And then we'll talk Dark Side of the Ring. And on that note, we'll see you here next week. Good night, everybody. See you later, you all cool cats and kittens.